At the risk of sounding like an old fart, I'd like to tell you about our sponsor, Common Sense. For just $12.95 a month, you can have Common Sense too. So, what are the benefits of Common Sense? Well, I'm getting ready to work on this Suzuki, and I'm gonna be pulling the tires off. I've got some wheel spacers that should be arriving today, and so I could jack up each one. I do have 4 jack stands somewhere that I can use to hold it all up. It's gonna be a bit of a pain in the butt, or I could do a little bit more work and just go ahead and put these quick jacks in place, lift it completely off the ground, and then just do them all at one time. And then I also have to change the clutch cable, so that would make it easy to get into there and see what I'm doing. So I forgot to mention I was sick of looking at the front of the vehicle so raw like that with no bumper. And I know I had this bumper, and I looked at it and it wasn't in horrible shape. So I went ahead and looked at it. I was able to put it back on. Unfortunately, the whoever took it off, or while it was off, some of the mounts were cut. I think it's really hard to see right here. Actually, it's cut at an angle, and so there's no hole to maybe these were seized or something. I don't know, but there was no hole, and so I just stuck a washer on it and did this. But my intention is to weld something on a tab that I can go ahead and do. I'm not sure that that's the bumper I want on there. I've got to either locate some more lenses and wire those up. The wires are just cut basically, but based on my budget at this point in time, I don't see myself putting a bumper on it. Well, David, that was a nice, neat job you did removing those wheels and organizing those lug nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wheel lug nut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wheel lug nut. 1, 2, 3, 4. How could I lose a lug nut in that short amount of time? Well, let's look. Okay, I don't see it. Just move some stuff. Oh. Aha. Got it. Okay. And then wheel lug nuts. Done. Awesome. Something always gets lost. All right. We got a package today. Let's do the most important thing first. Yeah. Yes. Okay. That fits. Perfect. I don't think they'll be accessed very often, that we'll need to take them off unless we're doing brakes or something like that. And so what I've got some thread locker, blue, which I'm just going to use a tiny bit of it, but I think that'll be enough to make sure that this stays on. And what I'm going to do is use the bolts that were on the outside, the bolts that were on the wheel on this to hold this actual piece on. And then what that'll allow me to do is have really nice new bolts on the outside, because I've got 5 brand new bolts and they'll look good with the wheel. So let's do that. We'll just put these in. As far as torque, I'm just gonna use my gun and tighten them up and not worry about it too much. I think this socket barely fits in here. Oops, it's hard to do this, but I'm gonna keep these loose so that I can get the other sockets in, hopefully. Okay, I want to talk about a quick little concern that I have with these, and it's just something to be aware of. I talked about how I used the socket to, or I kind of waited to tighten them up until I got them all in. I think that's a good idea. It's got an acorn taper on it like this that will center the spacer. But if you were to go and crank down on a couple of 2 or 3 of these before, this is the acorn that will center it. If you were to go ahead and taper or crank down on a couple of these before you got them all, you might think you had the last one tight, and it may just be wedged against the edge, and then over time it could come loose. And also you'll have, if you look, I mean, I guess that's the one thing, just look at how much movement you get there until you tighten them down, and then you get a lot less movement. I guess wheels kind of do the same thing, but just being thicker, it worries me a little bit. So yeah, just make sure if you're putting these on that you make sure that it's centered and that all of the lug nuts tighten properly. All right. I like working sitting down. It's a lot more comfortable. One thing I was thinking about on that other one was that I put that blue on, and I just need to make sure that I at least accommodate for the space of the spacer where the lug nuts attach. So, and I think I put it on in the right place, right in this area. So with that, let's dive right in. I always say that. Let's dive right in. We live in the desert. It's probably more than I need, but okay. All right, I don't need you guys holding my hands while I finish this, so let me go ahead and get that done, and we'll get it on the ground. Okay, so the good news is we have clearance at the leaf springs on both sides, plenty of clearance. The kind of not great news, but not bad news either, is that we're a lot closer to this surface, and we actually hit this surface here, and which I can take that off. It's just a washer I put on. But yeah, when we swing it back over, it's going to require a little bit of massaging. Yeah, this side seems fine. Let's take a look. Yeah, we're good there. We're good here. Actually, so that's where we have contact. But I mean, that's gonna not be a problem in a bit. So yeah, I think we're good. So that's all 4 wheels, tires on spacers versus getting new wheels, which I'll always be looking for. I mean, I think we have to always be improving our rigs, always be looking for things. There's a lot of stuff that is available now that won't be available in 10 years. And so if you want to upgrade your rims, spend the time and the money to get what you want now. Same thing with drivetrain and everything else. I don't abuse my vehicles. I'm going to be 60 in August, and I've had a long life of playing with cars and being that dumb kid that smoked the tires all the time and abused and horse beat his vehicles. And I've learned that, I mean, these things, they deserve respect. They deserve to be treated right. They deserve to be improved and worked on and kept healthy and alive. If nothing else, for the people who are coming after us who won't have a chance to own these vehicles. And also I think it gives me a little bit of pleasure just, in my own sense of contributing or doing something good. So yeah, you can see the wheels stick out a little bit farther. I don't think I'll ever put wheel flares on it, but I haven't driven in a lot of mud, so who knows what's to come. But for today, that's going to be all we've got. We've still got to put that clutch cable on. I'm not going to get that done today, but I want to get a video out for you guys. I appreciate you watching. I know that your time is important, and I know that somebody's probably giving you a hard time about being on YouTube. I know that that's what happens to me sometimes. So I guess if you're done watching this, maybe you need to get out there and look at your project and maybe see if there's one or two little things that you can do on that. I think that's the best advice I can give you. It's good for your soul.